your team now?
Were you the coach? Yeah. My father was John Williams. Yeah. My dad. Correct. Hey, how you doing? I'm Thomas. Nice to meet you. Taylor. Yep, from Marquette High. He's still around, but unfortunately he couldn't make it. He's in the hospital right now. So, yeah. Where are you? I will. I will. Yep. 66. Play? Oh, play. 66. You? That's you?
The shoulders.
There you go. You guys have a good one. Thank you. Who's part of this team? 66. Yeah.
Awesome. Congratulations. Great to meet you.
Wait, Dad, you said you were like 62? I think you were 62. That looks more like you.
Where's the good looking one? That's him.
That's you right there. I know that scowl anyway.
Attention, attention. 2-minute warning. We're going to need everyone to start taking your seats. We'll be starting the program very soon.
Hey, how you doing? Good, good.
There'll be an opportunity to take photos with the plaques after the ceremony, but we do need everyone to start taking their seats so we can start the ceremony. So if everyone can please start taking your seats, we'd really appreciate it. Thank you. It is open seating once again. It's open seating. You can sit wherever you'd like. Once again, will everyone please take their seats? We're going to start this ceremony in just a few moments. We need you to please take a seat. It's open seating. You can sit anywhere you like. So I came off the freeway, off the 210 freeway off Hill Street, and I'm coming toward Walnut, and I get in the left turn lane, and it's a green light, and the person has the right of way coming the other direction, and they're just standing there. They won't move, and I'm looking at them, and I'm saying, "You have the right of way." And I'm literally pulling them to go, and then they went. So apparently, green lights are optional now. Welcome everyone to the 2026 Pasadena City College Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony. I'm your MC, Robert Lewis, and we're going to make a trip down memory lane. While every inductee group is special, this 2026 class is a who's who of Lancer greats. We celebrate a collection of athletic achievers, from student athletes to coaches to teams, that span an amazing 7 decades. 9 individuals and 7 teams make up this eclectic group. Some of these new members were then coaches and were colleagues of mine. Others, I saw them at their best as Lancer student athletes, promoting their talents to the local media while tracking their records as college SID. For the inductees who go back to the 1960s and 70s, it's been a long time coming to finally get their day in the sun, their rightful entrance into our PCC Hall of Fame. So let's get the ball rolling with our first inductee. We begin with our first team, the 1966 PCC football team. Let's talk about their accomplishments. The 66 Lancers captured the Western State Conference Championship with an undefeated 8 wins and 1 tie record under head coach Don Hunt. The Lancers were known for a strong defense and shut out L.A. Pierce, Santa Barbara, and Compton, while also holding 4 other opponents to just 37 points. The defense was paced by 2 PCC Hall of Famers and JC All-Americans, and the hard-tackling sackmaster Curtis Seagrove, and blanket defensive back Skip Robinson. The offense was solid too, as it scored 55 points in a win over East LA and scored 34 or more in 5 wins, led by running back and voted team MVP Lauren Schumer. PCC made it all the way to the Junior Rose Bowl game in front of 50,000 people in a game to decide the national title. Alas, its undefeated run ended in a loss to a very talented team from Texas, Henderson College. These Lancers proved to be the best football team of the decade. Welcome to the PCC Hall of Fame, your 1966 Lancers football team. Here are some of the team members in attendance. Curtis Seagrove, Lauren Schumer, Gilbert Blades, John Catlitz, Doug Cianfrocca, Mike Brady, Jim Wallace, Carl Davis, John Williams, Skip Robinson, and coming up to speak on behalf of the 66 Lancers, the assistant coach and defensive coordinator from that team, Harvey Hyde.
Actually, folks, we are better than that.
First of all, I want to welcome all of you to a really tremendous event. There are so many great athletes that are going to be awarded things today as far as going into the Hall of Fame. It's something you never forget, and you have your grandchildren here, and your wives are here, and I've met so many people. Last night we had a little dinner where I found out more about each one of you and what you've done and so on, and you've all gone on. And the way I feel, ladies and gentlemen, we were here 60 years ago. We played 60 years ago. I'm still here, and a portion of the team is still here. But we'll never forget everything that Pasadena City College did for not only us, but all of us. We all came here with a purpose. We all came here because we wanted something great, and we all got something great at a great school here locally in Pasadena. We were so fortunate. Today we honor the 66 team along with other great teams and other great players that are here who I had the opportunity of coaching. Sylvester Youngblood, who's going in today from a team. Also, Alonzo Brooks, who was a great player. First team All-American players, and if I missed anyone, I apologize. But these group of people gave Pasadena City College a start. I played at Pasadena City College and we were 1-9. 1-9, and we happened to win that game because I was lucky enough to kick a field goal against Ventura. I shut my eyes and kicked the ball. But we won. And that started me wanting to come back because I always felt Pasadena City College was a sleeping giant. We had a parade in front of the school every year. We had a marching band from Pasadena City College that marched in the parade every year. What other community college had that? None. And we recruited on that basis to say, come here, have your first 2 years here. You really don't know what you want to be anyway. Come and be a part of a program, get your academics settled, and then move on. And all of these players took advantage of what we were offering them. They believed us, and we were able to do that. As you all in this room were able to take advantage of all of those great things. Now today we honor, I think, 16 or 17 people going into the Hall of Fame. Something special. These kids in front of me, I call them kids, but they're still kids, are something special to me. Every single one of them are here for a purpose because they donated their lives, their knees, everything to winning. Winning not only on the football field, but winning in everything they did. Whatever I asked them to do, they did that and more. If they were 6'2", they played for me at 6'4". If they ran 4.4, they ran 4.3, and nobody did run 4.3. But it was a pleasure to be with them. They were the ones that gave me my opportunity to have my career because I was able to recruit them, they played for me, and I had the opportunities of moving on because we were so successful here. And I think that's what all of you did, was the same type of thing, moving on or doing things. And here today, whether you can walk or roll or run, we walk slowly, but we got here. And all of you got here, and we really appreciate that.
I don't want to go over my time because I sort of set the limit where everybody else talks, and then it becomes really long. But I tell you, we want to thank all of you. We want to congratulate everyone here who is going in the Pasadena City College Hall of Fame. I still have my watch, which is 60 years old, and believe me, I put it on today. I wound it up, and it worked. You'll see some of the blue jackets that were given to us for the Junior Rose Bowl that the guys wear, and they still have those jackets that are 60 years old also. Great experience. I want to thank all of you for coming today. I'd like to have the 1966 team please stand up. Bill, turn Bill around. Thank you very much. I'd like to have the 66 team stay standing. Come up here instead of the picture. We want to get a picture of you around the picture. I would suggest that all of you that when you go in the Hall of Fame, you have your picture taken now, so that if someone has to go or someone doesn't miss it, okay? So I'm taking more time than I'm supposed to, but that's just the way it goes. Yeah, certainly. What? Also, I want to mention, too, that Bill Stafford is here. We used to call him on the team, right sitting here with the hat on, we call him Mad Dog, because Mad Dog would put his face into anybody. And he brought you to the ground. He followed me to the University of Hawaii when I went to the University of Hawaii to coach. All right, gentlemen, our picture is here. I want to thank all of you again. Curtis Ebro, get in here. Gilbert Blades, get in here. Make sure we're all in. Can you get them all? They're important. They're all a part of it. Now, I don't care about Skip. He has.
I made him.
I'm going to tell you.
I made him.
Can you believe he came? Can you believe he came here? And before it was over, I worked for him. That's true. He became the athletic director and dean, and he hired me to teach a few classes. Okay. All right, let's take these pictures. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and congratulations to everybody.
Thank you. Did you get a pen? Yeah, I got a pen.
I didn't get a pen. Let me have one of those, baby. All right, now also the 66 team, if you could get up and move to the back, but some people say they can't see, then we'll move back and then they'll see out of that row, okay? So let's do that for them. I apologize, but we can't walk that far and we walk slow. Thank you again.
How about one last big hand for the 66 PCC football team? Our next inductee is going in posthumously. He served the campus first as a football coach and then a longtime athletic director. He is Bill Sandström. For parts of 4 decades, Bill Sandström was an icon in PCC athletics. He served as athletic director and physical education chair from 1974 to 1991. Under his watch, Lancers teams won 5 state championships, each now members of the PCC Hall of Fame. 10 coaches and 23 athletes under his AD hat are also part of the Hall of Fame. He served as head coach for PCC football over 6 seasons in 3 different stints. Best known for directing the 1972 Lancers to tie a school record with 12 victories. That squad won the JC Gridwire National Championship with a perfect 10-0 regular season and the Metro Conference title. PCC won 2 playoff games before their undefeated year ended in a Potato Bowl loss to Fresno. Bill sent 116 of his players to universities. He passed away in 2017 at the age of 77. We are honored to enter Bill Sandström into the PCC Hall of Fame. Our next inductee, the 1967 men's cross-country team. The 67 Lancers squad were one of several great teams at the PCC campus in the late 1960s. The Harrier squad made history under first-year head coach Larry Knuth in winning the school's first and only state team championship in the sport. The Pasadena contingent were Western State Conference dual meet and finals champions. They took 3rd at the Southern California Championships. At the state meet over a 4-mile course at Fresno's Woodward Park, the squad placed 5 of the first 43 runners out of a 200-man field as Jesse Gomez crossed the finish line with a team best 5th place. Then Bill Scruggs was right behind in 6th. Scott Chisholm, Kurt Lawson, and Fritz Menninger all scored in that upper 25% of the runners. The Lancers finished a perfect 27-0 in triangular meet competition. Welcome to the PCC Hall of Fame, the 1967 Lancers men's cross-country team. Come on up when you hear your name. Scott Chisholm, Kurt Lawson, Fritz Menninger, and head coach Larry Knuth. And Larry will be speaking on behalf of the team.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Harvey, you're special. But you didn't have to share a phone with Jerry Tarkanian like I did. I did. There's only 3 of our 7 here. They're up here. 1 is here in spirit. Well, I'll talk about my senior citizen eyes, and I don't have Harvey's ability. I'm going to read most of this. Nearly 60 years ago, the 67 Pasadena City College cross-country team traveled to Woodward Park in Fresno and beat the best that the state had to throw at us. We had also done that at the Mount Sac Invitational and set a new team record time. We did that again at the Aztec Invitational and set a new team record time. It was a talented group, a collective, loving team that trained hard and bonded early on. Our top 5, the scoring runners on a cross-country team, They all received scholarships. They all retired out of professional careers. Only 3 are with us today. Dr. Fritz Menninger, out of St. Francis High School, went on to the University of Arizona to compete and then left to pursue medical studies. Captain Kurt Lawson, out of Monrovia High School, went on to Idaho State and retired as American airline pilot captain. Finally, our captain, Scott Chisholm, out of Arcadia High School, went on to compete at UCLA, then began coaching at his alma mater and started the prestigious Arcadia Invitational before returning to UCLA as head women's track and field coach. Then on to Stanford and has remained active in the sport, giving back as official state meet starter and coaching. The heartbeat and leading runner of this special group was Jesse Gomez. We lost Jesse about a month ago. But he is with us in spirit today. I got to get it together here. Jesse told me more than once that PCC changed his life and gave him a career. For that, he was forever indebted to Coach Skip Robinson for bringing him onto the staff. Jesse later became head coach of both the track and cross country programs with many state and SoCal champions, some of whom are with us today. Jesse was inducted into this Hall of Fame as an individual in 2002. He was special in my life, in my wife, in my life, in my coaching career. He was special. Rest in peace, Jess. Now I'd like to ask our captain, Scott Chisholm, to come up and say a few words. Scott.
Thank you, Larry. Basically, I want to thank Pasadena City College for everything it did for us. You have some super professionals here, and it was the springboard of major careers for all of us. I stayed in coaching, went to UCLA, won a couple of national championships, coached a couple of Olympic gold medalists, and I'm still coaching high school today. Matter of fact, on my phone, I keep checking how my team is doing up in Northern California right now. And Larry Knuth helped start that. And one tradition I keep as a high school coach, Woodward Park, when we went there for the state championships, was nothing but dirt, few small bushes, no water, no roads, no anything. And today it is the premier cross-country course, actually in the United States, but in California, the state meet is there every year. And I have a tradition with my high school teams. We go there during the year and compete before the state championships, and each member of the team picks up a rock from the course, brings it back, and if we qualify for the state championships, then we have a ceremony at our sectional championships where in the Sac Joaquin section where I am now, the team lines up, they take their rocks and they throw it into a reservoir. And I have this rock from Woodward Park that I want to give to Coach Knuth as a symbol of the 67 team. And again, thank you, Pasadena City College, for everything you did for us.
Our next inductee, a great and a long line of many standout PCC running backs. This workhorse of a rusher put on a show in the 1970 football season. He rushed for, at the time, a school record 1,441 yards in just 9 games played. In a victory versus Santa Monica, he set a still standing state record by carrying the ball, ready for this one, 52 times. He set a state single game record for 305 yards. Ironically, his brother, Albert, would break the PCC yards record a year later with 316. How about keeping that all in the family? This first team All-American is one of just 4 Lancers, running backs, to rush for more than 2,000 yards in a career. He went on to play at Cal Berkeley. Please welcome your 2026 inductee to the PCC Hall of Fame, Sylvester Youngblood.
Good morning. My name is Sylvester Youngblood. I had the privilege of playing football for Pasadena City College during 1969 and 1970. I would like to thank the Pasadena City College Hall of Fame Committee for selecting me for this award. I also like to thank Robert Lewis and especially Skip Robinson for his tireless dedication for nominating me for this recommendation. I also want to thank my wife, Jennifer, for her being by my side during this amazing journey. I also want to acknowledge my children, Sylvester Jr., Shayna, Cian, that could not be here today, but he wanted to, but unfortunately couldn't make it. I also want to, playing football back in the day is what I loved and cherished. I loved the physical contact and working together with my teammates to beat the opponent that we had a challenge with. There were moments when I was tired, in pain, but didn't give up. And that was because of the dedication of my teammates as well. This recognition means so much to me because it reflects what my teammates and I accomplished when we were here at Pasadena City College. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We're just getting rolling here. Our next inductee, the 1984 Lancers men's track and field team. The 84 Lancers were the second state track and field champion in 6 years under head coach Skip Robinson. PCC won the SoCal region title and had a roll call of state individual first place medals in PCC Hall of Famer Eric Thomas in the long jump, Fabian Cooper in the 200-meter dash, Owen Herrera in the 110 hurdles, Jerome Carter in the high jump, and the 4x100 relay team of Lou Dunn, Thomas, Troy Wright, and Cooper. Thomas went on to play in the NFL and in the Super Bowl as a member of the Cincinnati Bengals, and he was honored as a Co-Metro Conference Athlete of the Year. Setting still standing school records during that magical season were Carter in the high jump, Herrera in the hurdles, triple jumper Michael Pullins, who scored second in the state, an 800 distance racer Alfonso Everhart. We want to welcome to the PCC Hall of Fame the 1984 men's track and field team. If you're here, come on up. Lou Dunn, Troy Wright, Michael Pullins. Terso Dienda. Accepting for their fathers or sons, Chris Jr. for Chris Ward. Joaquin for assistant coach, Jesse Gomez. Pat for assistant, Pat Williams, who couldn't attend because he's still an assistant today for the Lancers competing in the regional prelims. And finally, come on up, head coach, Skip Robinson.
Well, thank you, Robert, for the introduction of the 1984 State Championship track team. And we all want to thank Pasadena City College administration, the foundation, athletic department, and most of all, Robert Lewis for his tiring efforts to put this particular event on. I've been a part of Pasadena City College since 1970, so I know these kind of events are very tiresome and can kind of wear you out, but Robert has done a tremendous job. So let's give Robert Lewis a hand, show our appreciation. Well, there's only the track team, there's more than what you see here that was, made us the state champion in 1984. But these guys that are here today are represented the heart of our team. And I can't say enough about them. However, there is one thing I want to mention to you all today. Most of you, well, I shouldn't say most of you, a lot of you know the passing of our assistant coach, Jesse Gomez. So as I stand here with a heavy heart, we would not have been as successful as we have been over the years. I mean, we had one of the elite track and field community college programs in the state of California. And so our success that we've had over the years was a direct result of the tireless efforts and coaching of Jesse Gomez. So I wanted just to mention that. Well, I could stand here and tell you all the accolades that these guys have all done and so forth and what their careers have been, but I'm going to let just one member of our team speak for the team, and that's Michael Pullins. He didn't know that, but that's who's going to do it, okay? Michael Pullins, triple jumper, school record holder.
Thank you, everyone. There's been a theme here that's important to, I think, for all of us that have gone on through here is that how special Pasadena City College has been. Many of us came here, 18, 19-year-olds with no direction. A lot of us had a lot of different scenarios going on in our households, but when we had coaches that, like Coach Robinson here, Jesse, that were here just to kind of give us direction and to instill in us that we had this great opportunity here, and for the most part, it didn't really cost us much. These guys here, every day, I mean, the things that we did and the types of training and stuff that Coach brought along with us was instrumental in us winning the title. I went on to coach for almost 30 years after leaving here, and the type of talent that we had on the team, I coached at USC, by the way, were the types of kids that we were looking for. There was a roll call of just state champions one after the next. I know my teammate here, Lou Dunn, was the 100-meter champion. Fabian, who passed away years ago, was a 400-meter champion. You mentioned Eric Turner was the long jump champion for the state of California. So for Coach Robinson for Skip to get this type of talent here at a single time was amazing. So thank everybody. And again, this has been an integral part of my life, and it continues to be. Thank you. Thank you guys again.
For teams, we have taken photos of all of the teams, and we'll make those available for you. Our next inductee, he's one of the greatest defensive linemen in the history of PCC football. He twice was an all-Metro Conference selection on 2 champion teams. He helped the 1977 Hall of Fame squad finish 11-1 and win the state Junior Rose Bowl and JC Gridwire national championships. That year, he set a PCC single-game record for quarterback sacks with 4.5 versus El Camino. As a sophomore, he was the team's lone All-American and helping the 78 Lancers finish 8-3 and a victory in the Potato Bowl. The next year, he moved on to the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and on a Hall of Fame squad there in 1979, that team finished 9-1 with 2 ties. Please welcome 2026 PCC Hall of Fame inductee, Alonzo Brooks.
Thank the city of Pasadena. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful, Pasadena. And second of all, Pasadena City College. You mean so much to me in general. First of all, I'd like to start off. I have a coach that couldn't be here. He sent me an email. He wanted me to read this. Eric Whitmark. Oh, what a man he is. And it goes, always move with purpose, always moves with sense of urgency, operate quickly with high quality, to have a great attitude, never complain, and stay positive. Our attitude is a reflection of our character, who we are as a human being. While it is important and valuable to strive for work, athletes, monetary, and academy success in life, nothing rivals the success of being a good person. To have toughness, don't hesitate to sacrifice comfort. Do not become discouraged. Never worry about withstanding the storm. You are the storm. You get that meaning? It's strong. Thank you, Coach. Thank you so much for what you instilled in me. And I'm standing here today. It's truly overwhelming. And this honor means so much to me than I can fully express. Football didn't just shape me as an athlete, it shaped me as a person. Pasadena City College gave me the discipline, the resilience, and the belief that no matter what life throws at you, you keep pushing, you keep fighting, and you keep on showing up. Life doesn't always go the way you plan. I have had highs, I have had lows, and I have moments where I had to be rebuild myself. But what was instilled in me through the time here in Pasadena was a strong work ethic, endurance, and teamwork, which carried me through the rough times to a better day today. And it continues to carry me. Because of so many of you believed in me, that belief matters. It matters then and it matters now. I want to thank my mom, oh man, my dad. You guys know what a transistor radio is, my mom and dad. The Giants and the Dodgers, they was enemies on the transistor radio. And they instilled this in me. My mom and dad, Mom, both of them resting in peace. Oh, I want to thank my mom and my dad for their competitiveness during baseball season, cheering for different teams, arguing over plays, turning every game into a high-spirit battle. That energy and fire made me competitive. It made me who I am. Thank you, Mom and Dad. To my grandfather, thank you for always pushing me towards greatness, even when I didn't see it in myself. Your voice is still in my head every time I take on something hard. To my wife, who supported me when she was my girlfriend, just my girlfriend. Thanks for standing by me through every chapter, every challenge, every dream. Your support has been the greatest blessing of my life. To my children, I love you, baby. To my children, to my family, bro. Thank you for grounding me, motivating me, and reminding me what really matters. Everything I do it with you in mind. As a special shout out to my stepmother, Sadie. Thank you for being there for me then and being here for me now. Your love and support have never wavered. And finally, to my coaches, Coach Hyde, Witt, Loogie. None of this would have been possible without you. You pushed me, challenged me, believed in me, and helped me shape the man standing here today. I have teammates that fed me, and they're here today. Adonis, Danny, love you guys. Love you guys, man. You guys' mother, when I had nobody, fed me. Thank you for believing me then, and thank you for believing and honoring me now. Thank you, Pasadena City College.
Our next inductees, as in plural, we're going to honor a different way this year. That is the dynasty known as the Lancers men's swim teams. Five championships were performed by legendary coach Ron Ballator. Today we're entering three-peat squad. That's the 1976, 1977, and 1978 PCC state champion teams. We're going to talk about all three. First, 1976, and our nation's bicentennial year. The 76 Lancers men's swim team was a national junior college title squad that included 3 members that would go on to participate at the 1976 Olympic Games. Under the direction of Coach Ballator, a member of our PCC Court of Champions, the Lancers won the program's 7th consecutive Metro Conference crown and 5th SoCal sectional title in a 6-year span. At the state meet, Lars Lindberg won the 200-yard butterfly for the 2nd straight year, and Dov Nisman captured the 400 individual medley title. 1977, the second of 3 straight champion teams. The 77 Lancers won their 2nd straight national crown. 4 future PCC Hall of Famers, including state individual champions, and Glenn Aiken in the 200 butterfly, a national record. Eric Marks in the 100 butterfly. J.C. Barnett in the 400 IM. And Per Kurzmark, who was on the 400 freestyle relay champion team. Peter Pedersen won the mile freestyle, and the team also took gold in the 400 medley relay. The dynasty continued with an 8th Metro Conference title in a row and a 6th SoCal sectional championship in 7 years. 1978, this Lancer team completed a trifecta of consecutive state and national titles. PCC won the state crown with the largest margin of victory in the sport's history of 148 points. This squad set 6 national records, including a state champion event gold medals for sophomores Marks in the 100 freestyle, Barnett in the 400 IM, Aiken in the 200 butterfly, and Kurzmark in the 200 freestyle. 3 PCC relays also were event winners. The program completed its 9th Metro Conference title in a row, capturing the SoCal Sectional Championship for the 7th time in 8 seasons. Please welcome the 1976, 77, 78 PCC men's swim teams into our Hall of Fame. Come on up, Jerry Walsh, Joe Walsh, Tom Maddox, Alfonso Pepito, Rob Welsh, Scott Bagan, J.C. Barnett, Glenn Aiken, Eric Marks, Robert Bagan, and Tomas Soderstrom.
Hello, fellow alumni, inductees, family members, and friends. My name is Al Pepito, and I was a member of the 1976-77 state championship team. My lane mate, Eddie Eisenberg, should be up here speaking right now, but he's in Tennessee birthing a bunch of sheep. So, shout out to you, Eddie, if you're watching. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to my teammates that are in Israel right now, and also my teammates that are in Sweden right now. I came to Pasadena City College so I could swim. Yeah, I know, go to college, get an education, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. But I really wanted to swim for Ron Ballatore. I heard he was an international Olympic swim coach, and I had an opportunity to swim with his AAU club for 2 weeks as a senior in high school. So I knew what I was in for. The one thing that I was really not anticipating was coming in and feeling very intimidated by a team with 6 returning All-Americans, 2 swimmers from out of state, 4 swimmers from Sweden, and 3 from Israel. To give you a little dynamic about the team, our locker room was a 20 by 20 storage area that had nothing but clothes hooks and benches around the area. Going into the locker room was almost like coming into a foreign language or a foreign country. Everybody was speaking a different language. It was finally broken by Eric Sturgis, one of our sophomores, who came into the locker room one day while everybody was speaking and just went, "Sterny Vern," and everybody just stayed silent. Everybody was looking around, and then the Swedes started laughing, and everybody else started laughing too. Then, so the team was great. We had the infamous rock star Joe Walsh and his twin brother Jerry. There was the distant swimmer Scotty Began, who looked like he could always use a meal. I had Robbie Welch, who knew everything about Volkswagen. Quick side note, we were going up to San Jose for a swim meet against West Valley. I was driving a VW van and it broke down. We were separated from the caravan. Robbie jumped out real quick, opened the hatch, looked at something, grabbed a pair of pliers, pulled a spring, hooked it up together, boom, we were off. The only problem is, now we lost the caravan. And then we had a guy named Paul Boomer who was excellent with maps, was able to get us there and to our hotel safely. There was a guy named Jeff Lempe who looked more like a Viking or a bodybuilder than he did a swimmer. And we also had this guy named Dean Lachasse, Mr. Pretty Boy, always brushing his hair. There were so many stories out there, but so little time. The team came together very quickly. The Swedes taught us how to use Copenhagen correctly. Oh, sorry, I digress. With morning practices at 5:30 before school, teammates meeting in the quad and heading over to Carl's Jr. for a quick lunch with our 2-for-1 coupons from the PCC Courier. Then meeting in the afternoon to get ready to run stadiums or lift in the weight room, followed by another practice right afterwards. If we didn't have a meet on the weekends, we had 2 practices on Saturday, 12 practices a week. Sticks was a very motivating coach. He threw chairs, he smashed trash cans, and this was all before Bobby Knight and WWE Wrestling ever did. But seriously, we would cheer for the baseball team by beating on our fiberglass blocks with kickboards. He would bring in his turntable and play music on deck. He would tell great stories of other swimmers or his international trips. He would try to see who could throw a kickboard onto the baseball field. We do get out of practice swims after he found out that the whole team went to Shakey's Pizza for all-you-can-eat buffet. And if not, then we had to do our 20-25 no-breather sprints on the 30 seconds at the end of every practice. If somebody breathed, we started over again. We had 22 swimmers on the team, and if you wanted to go to state, you had to be one of the top 18 scorers on the team. The team was very competitive. Other teams knew us and had all of our stats. We were very, very well known. 15 years after I left PCC, I was recognized by another swimmer from Ventura College. He knew my name, he knew what events I swam, and he knew what times I swam. We were a legacy, and we didn't even know it. So the 1976 journey brought us the Metropolitan Conference Championship, a Southern California Sectional Championship, and 50 years ago today, a California State Championship at Cypress College, and our first undefeated season. Along with the 3 championships and 14 All-Americans, we had 2 individuals who were state and national champions, Dov Nisman in the 400 IM, and Lars Lindberg, the first PC swimmer with back-to-back wins in the 1975 and 1976 championships in the 200 butterfly. On top of that, 3 of our teammates went on to compete in the 1976 Olympics. Dov Nisman and Adi Prague from Israel, and Bengt Jonsson from Sweden. Right now, I would like to thank the committee on behalf of the 1976 team for including us into the Hall of Fame. But the story continues. So right now, I would like to introduce a member of the 1977-78 team and a Hall of Fame inductee, Glenn Aiken.
Well, I'd like to start by thanking everybody for being here and coming out to support PCC sports. I'd also like to thank the Hall of Fame committee, especially Robert and his staff, and Terry Stoddard, who's the current swim coach. All have been steadfast supporters of PCC swimming and our generation. So on behalf of myself and my teammates, thank you very much. Now, I'd like to touch a little bit on how I became a member of the PCC squad. My story is similar to a good number of us who came in the 76, 77 time frame. I grew up down south in San Pedro. I swam for San Pedro YMCA, a small team. We did the YMCA circuit and the AAU circuit locally. I had some success as an age group swimmer. I went on to high school swimming and became an LA City champion. I had scholarship offers, but being a Southern California kid, I didn't want to go back east. I didn't want to go Midwest. And quite frankly, USC and UCLA weren't knocking down my door to get me to come and swim for them because they had plenty of butterflyers already. So, as many of you know, junior colleges aren't allowed to recruit. I heard somebody say they were recruiting earlier in one of the presentations, the first one. But you had to approach the coach in order to talk to him, right? He couldn't come and talk to you. So my coach at the time swam for UCLA, and he knew Ron. And, you know, Ron had some pretty good credentials, right? He was on the coaching staffs for Perau in the '68 Olympics. He was on the coaching staff for Israel for the '76 Olympic Games. He was head coach of the U.S. national men's team at the Pan American Games in 1975. So my coach thought, you know what, this would be a good transition because coming out of high school, I was a scrawny, 5'11", 140-pound, know-nothing. And so I talked to, my coach introduced me to Ron. We met a couple times. I came up and we went to a tour, and I decided to come here and swim for Ron. Now I tell you this because, like I said, many of my compadres here had the same situation, a little bit different tweak. They met Ron in a little bit different way, but we all came to know that we wanted to swim. We wanted to continue our swimming careers after high school. And Ron was a good place where we could come and get some good quality coaching because he was a pretty fantastic coach. So, while each of us have a unique twist on how we got here, we all have that common thread. We all wanted to do better. We all wanted to make our mark, and Ron was the way to do it. And we believed we could do it with Ron, and do it we did. Our accomplishments for the 76-77 season: Metropolitan Conference team champions, Southern California sectional team champions. We're the California Community College state champions. We had 17 meet qualifiers. It was the second straight California State National Team Championship. We had 4 individual state champions and set 2 national and state individual records in the process. We also had 2 relay state champions and set national and state records in the 400 medley relay. We also had the largest team winning margin of any team in California state history, 120 points. It was our second undefeated season, and we yielded 14 individual All-Americans. Now, there are 2 junior college entities in the USA. One is the National Junior College Athletic Association, which includes all states in the union except California, and the other is the California Community College Athletic Association, which is basically the state of California. Swimming World Magazine is the de facto authority when it comes to USA Swimming. And at the end of every season, they would take all of the times from both groups, put it together, and determine a national champion. And we won. We were the national champions for junior college in the USA. The last thing I'd like to say, and Robert, you can correct me if I'm wrong, and I might be wrong, having seen the 1984 track season here, but we could very well be the best freshman class of athletes to come to PCC and PCC history. We included 4 members of the Hall of Fame, and I don't know that there are any other sports that have had 4 freshmen come in and become Hall of Fame members. And to further that, 6 of us are still on the 2025 California State Meet top 100 performers. And that list across 9 events, 3 relays, and that's 49 years later. But the story continues. And I'd like to introduce our captain, J.C. Barnett, and he's going to talk about the 77, 78 Lancers. J.C.?
Whoa. It's hard not to get emotional about all this. Again, as Glenn pointed out, we came from all parts. I'm definitely the only pickup truck in the state of Kentucky that has a Pasadena decal on the back, as far as that goes. And I followed another Hall of Famer, the first swimming Hall of Famer, a guy by the name of Jack Tingley, who ended up setting the American record later on in the 1650 swimming for USC. He can't come today. He's at the Derby, like some little excuse like that. Yeah, there's a small event going on in Louisville right now. This is the place to be, though. What made the 77, 78 team different than the one the previous year was it was smaller. And as the rankings came out during the season, because we would put the times in, they would have a state ranking and stuff, it showed a little bit of blood in the water. The Diablo Valley college team was smelling an upset. When we entered state, we only had 12 swimmers qualify for state. And that just got them real excited. After the first day, they were definitely. But then the famous second day came. We had 3 people in the finals of the 400 IM, the 100 fly, 2 people in the finals of the breaststroke. Perau won the 200 free, and our relay set the state record and the national record. The meet was over after 2 days, and all 12 qualifiers were all Americans. So if you have the right, 12 is a good number, but 12 All-Americans is better. And as I was talking earlier, I had a 77 football player walk up to me. I was very grateful that he recognized me. And we had talked a little bit. I actually have a pennant at home in my man cave from that Potato Bowl in 77. It's still in pristine condition. But let me remind you what this campus was like in 77, 78. A lot of A personalities. National champion football team, national champion track team and the swim team, a highly ranked water polo team. That's back in the days when the pool was right next to the women's gym. Okay? So as we were walking to the library, a lot of times we ended up cheering for the girls' volleyball team. Or is that women's volleyball team? Sorry. And the women's basketball team. We went to their games, they came to our meets. Our men's water polo team supported us, we supported them. This was an unbelievable place. You know, again, I came here following Jack Tingley. His mom talked me into it. My mom, though, looked up Pasadena in some big book that had the academics. And she says, this is a place to go. And it was because I would call it the family atmosphere. It was a large junior college, a lot of great athletes walking around here. We all supported each other. It was the place to be. But the swimmers never went to the blocks alone. We always had a supportive group. We had our parents. My parents drove from Kentucky 2 years in a row to follow the last last four meets, okay? I was adopted basically by the Aikens. We had a team grandmother, which anybody who knows Granny Aiken, she was something to talk about. The women's athletic department, the volleyball team, the basketball team were at all of our meets. Again, the pool at that time, it's a warehouse now, but was right next to the pool. The men's water polo team, the largest group of guys you'll ever see, were there supporting us every time, okay? But that just made it so much easier. The atmosphere that Ron Balatori created, the brotherhood. Again, I think it's August 25th of this year, I walked on this campus 50 years ago and met him, okay, and him 50 years ago. And we're still, as you can see, we have the same shirt, okay. It was a very unique place all the way around. Had a good mascot, had good team colors, okay. And at this time, I'd like to recognize those who are no longer with us, our teammates. Lars Landenberg, Anders Ottesen, Clark Wilson. Clark, when he passed away, coaching on a pool deck in Texas. And he had been in this small town for 20 years. I got a call from one of his swimmers. I thought that was kind of strange. I said, how did you get my name? He goes, well, I looked in my coach's phone. He goes, but you, and he named 3 or 4 other people, were in every story that he said. Kane Miller, Dan Bernard, and the guy that put us all on the deck together, Ron Balatori. I'm going to use the phrase, Ron was very animated as far as that goes. But he developed a brotherhood that produced 3 state championships, 3 metro championships, 3 SoCal championships, 3 national championships in a row. You just don't do that by turning the page. He built us. I came to this campus as John Barnett. I left this campus as J.C. Barnett. And as my mom would say, well, that campus just ruined you. Well, I'm not doing too bad. But there's almost a day go by that I don't remember my brothers, and I see that decal on the back of my pickup truck every day. I had to get on Tingley's case. I said, you're going to let the Derby prevent you from coming to this? He goes, yeah. And I'd like to know, we got Lancers in the water right today. Where's the championship today? Orange Coast College. We got Lancers in the water. I was talking to Terry the other day, and all our thoughts go with them, okay? We've been together for a very long time. Was there anything I forgot? He keeps me straight. Okay, good. You know, again, thank you to Robert, thank you to Terry, thank you to the Hall of Fame board. I'm very proud to be on the wall. Okay? Very, very proud. Thank you.
Quick cheer for our state competitors today. Let me go. Let's hear it.
CCCR! LAN! CER! Go Lancers!
That's Lancers pride. What can I say about the next inductee? Well, here's a story about a pair of sneakers that turned into Cinderella slippers for her and her team. The soles of her shoes were so worn down, she slipped on that court so many times late in the season. But then she thankfully got a new pair just in time for the playoffs. The rest is history. In 2009, this all-time great in women's basketball was the tourney most valuable player on the first ever sanctioned state team champion in PCC women's sports history. At point guard, she was a two-time All-South Coast Conference first-team selection and All-State her second year. She is PCC's all-time leading scorer with 1,097 points. She holds the school's assists record for a season and a career. Her 200 career steals, second most. Her 35 points in a game versus Chaffee, tied for a PCC single-game playoff high. She scored 34 in a state quarterfinal win. In her freshman year, she led the Lancers to the state semifinals. In her 2 years here, PCC had a winning mark of 62 wins and 10 losses. 2 years ago, she became a member of the Women's Basketball Coaches Association Hall of Fame. Now please welcome 2026 PCC Hall of Fame inductee, Kinyatta Johnson.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm standing here today. This is bigger than basketball for me. This is something I once only dreamed about, and now I'm living it. When I came to PCC, I didn't come chasing records or a Hall of Fame. I came with something to prove to myself more than anyone else. I just wanted to compete, to fight, and to become the best version of me I could be. Along the way, I became the all-time leading scorer, but every single point has a story behind it. Long nights, sacrifices, doubt, and people who believed in me when I needed the most. Winning the state championship, being part of the first team ever to do it here, that means everything. We weren't just winning games, we were making history. We were building something that didn't exist before, and that's a feeling I'll carry for the rest of my life. Now I have to talk about my coaches, because I wouldn't be here without them. Coach Perau, Coach P. Coach P, he was like the dad I never had. He didn't just coach me, he poured into me, he helped me grow spiritually, he helped me shape me who I am as a person, and that meant more than any stat could ever. Coach Smith, may he rest in peace, he changed how I saw the game. His scouting reports in that van were second to none. But more than that, he believed in discipline and details and heart. He taught me the run step. He taught me how to be a dog on defense, how to take pride in the things that don't always show up on the scoreboard. And knowing that that came from the influence of Coach Tarkanian, also a Hall of Famer here, that legacy runs deep, and I'm honored to be a part of it. To my teammates, you're my family. We went to war together. We laughed, we struggled, we pushed each other, and we made history together. I'll never forget that. And to my family and everyone who stood by me, thank you for loving me, supporting me, and never letting me quit. And to be placed on the same wall as Jackie Robinson and Michael Cooper and so many others. I think if you ever went to PCC, that means something to you. When you walk in that gymnasium and you see your picture along like with Jackie Robinson, like that's a big honor for me. Yeah, so those names stand for more than greatness. They stand for impact. And if I've done even a small part to leave something behind here, then I've done my job. This honor isn't just mine. It belongs to everyone who was a part of this journey. And thank you from the bottom of my heart.
So I was doing stats in our Robinson Stadium press box, and it was about 21 years ago. And I'm watching a men's soccer game. And I've seen some great plays and nice goals. But this one individual for the Lancers comes rolling down on the left side, coming down the left sideline. And about 25 yards away, I thought this guy kicked right-footed. This guy takes a shot, left-footed, drives into the upper corner of the net. I was like, are you kidding me? This guy was unbelievable. Our next inductee was an all-South Coast Conference first-team selection in 2005 on the Lancers men's soccer team. He will go down in our history as the greatest soccer player to ever play here. This uber talent scored nearly a goal-a-game average, resulting in 18 goals and 4 assists in just 19 matches for the Lancers. He was the first ever PCC choice as a state athlete of the month, and then named the PCC Men's Athlete of the Year for 2005-2006. His amazing talents made history as the first community college player ever drafted by Major League Soccer as the number four overall pick by the Kansas City Wizards in 2006. In 2009, he helped Real Salt Lake win the MLS Cup. He went on to sign the richest pro contract for an Armenian-born athlete to play for Spartak Moscow and became a leading scorer in the Russian Premier League. He proudly played for his home country on the Armenia national team. Let's welcome 2026 inductee to the PCC Hall of Fame, Ura Mosissi.
Oh, wow. Good afternoon, everybody. First and foremost, I'd like to thank everybody that's here, my family. Mr. Lewis, thank you very much. I know you're retiring after this year, but I'd like to say a big, big thank you to you for getting a men's soccer player on the wall. Thank you. Now, what do you say, right, when you have an event like this? When your kids know you're going to be put on the wall, and they get to make fun of that. But I want to talk about a story, why PCC? I'm proof of the American dream I came to this country when I was 12 years old, and I lived the American dream. And if anybody ever needs to explain to anybody what that is, that's me. You know, being an immigrant kid, coming to PCC, and, you know, going on and playing MLS, winning MLS Cups, you know, and then in Europe. But this is not about me. This is not about me. I played in a team sport. This is about every single teammate, staff, and I'll get to my coach, the real reason why I'm here. I'm sure everybody knows Sharif Zain, our men's coach. And funny story with Sharif. Sharif was also my high school coach. And, you know, coming out of high school, you know, there's a lot of Division I schools that offered me full 4-year scholarships. And that conversation I had with Sharif to try to convince me to come to PCC, that was an interesting one. But for me, I'm here because of Sharif, because of the work he did. And there's only one thing he told me. He said, Ura, come play for PCC, play here for a semester, for a season, and I'll get you looked at by professional coaches. Not I'm gonna turn you into a pro. I'll get you looked at. And the man did what he said. He had professional coaches vouch for me to get into the MLS Combine of 2006. So I'm gonna keep it short. You know, I'd like to thank everybody. This is a great honor, but this is not my honor. This is my teammates' honor. This is my coaches, everybody that was there. And as Mr. Brooks said, Pasadena, I love Pasadena. This is my home. I lived in some of the best cities, as everybody says, you know, around the world, different continents. But this is my home. You know, being retired for 6 years, actually 8 years. I keep forgetting I retired longer. But being retired and, you know, having my family here, my parents, my wife, my kids, I believe this is for them. Everything I did was because of them. Everything I did was because of my parents. And my wife, my kids, this is for you guys. I love you guys. I love everybody. And thank you very much. Sorry.
This next inductee, when I was covering her, every time I'd watch her play, she was always diving for balls on the court, diving in center field. I think she should have been on the PCC swim and dive team. She was always diving. This inductee excelled as a defensive dynamo on both the PCC volleyball and softball teams, twice making all South Coast Conference first team as a libero and a 2-time all-SEC choice as a center fielder. In volleyball, she was a key performer on the first Lancers South Coast Conference champion in 2009 that went undefeated at 16-0 in conference and won a PCC school record 23 matches overall. She set school records at the time for most digs in a season and career. In softball, she was the team's leading hitter as a sophomore and set a PCC record for highest fielding percentage as a freshman. She continued her success at Texas Wesleyan University, where she set its school record for batting average as well as a top volleyball digs leader. Two-sport star. Please welcome 2026 inductee to our PCC Hall of Fame, Marissa Reangal.
Good afternoon. Standing here today feels a little surreal. If you had told the younger version of me that one day I'd be standing here, I wouldn't have believed you. To be inducted into a Hall of Fame with such prestigious past inductees like Jackie Robinson, Michael Cooper, and Jerome Harrison is not only an honor, but it is truly humbling beyond words. What I remember most about my time here isn't just the accomplishments, it's the moments. I'll never forget winning the South Coast Conference Championship, the undefeated season, and the moment we secured that undefeated season when that student section rushed the court. That feeling and moment I shared with my teammates is one that I will carry forever. Not only were the moments on the court meaningful, but my time on the field was just as memorable. All that laughter and inside jokes while putting up and taking down that horrendous fence, the bus rides, and the Skittles from the late Coach Mary whenever we got on base. All those moments helped me shape the person I am today. More than those moments, I am who I am because of the coaches that I've had. I wouldn't be here today with the coaches who've guided me along the way, even before I've stepped onto this campus. A special thank you to my first volleyball coach ever, George. You've helped me more than I can ever thank you for. You taught me how to persevere and overcome adversity. To my volleyball coach while I was here and fellow inductee, Tammy Silva. Thank you for always pushing me, putting me in my spot while I was here and beyond, and believing in me beyond what I thought I was capable of. You even believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. And to my softball coach, Elaine Martinez, thank you for the strength, your leadership, and for creating a special place where we can grow, compete, and still truly love the game. To my teammates, we grew into a family. You made the early mornings, every tough practice, and every challenge worth it. You are a huge part of why this experience has meant so much to me. And to my family, thank you to all of those of you who have showed up to my games near and far, and even for today. To my 3 older nephews, thank you. You've been a quiet source of motivation in my life. Being in your lives has shaped me the way I show up in the world today. Knowing you're growing and learning made me want to be better, to work harder, and be someone that you look up to. To my 3 older sisters, thank you for being my role models. I grew up watching you, learning from you, and trying to follow your example. You set the bar high, you believed in me, and I'm grateful I've had you to look up to. Lastly, to my mom and dad, there are no words big enough to capture what you've given me, the sacrifices you've made, the time you've invested, the constant support. You made all of this possible. You believed in me every step of the way, and I hope you know that everything I've accomplished is because of you. Thank you, and I love you more. Sports has given me so much more than just wins and titles. They gave me confidence, resilience, and some of the most meaningful relationships of my life. They taught me that the most important part of my journey isn't the recognition at the end, it's the people you share it with along the way. I'm so incredibly grateful to have been a part of this community, and I'll carry these memories forever. Thank you.
Our next inductee, he used a variety of different arm angles from the mound, and he sparkled as a pitching ace for 2 seasons on the PCC baseball team. His 13 career victories and 144 strikeouts are PCC school records. His 2.29 ERA and 90-plus innings as a freshman, 3rd lowest in school history. He pitched a rarity in hurling both a 1-hitter and a 2-hitter complete game victories. That's pretty hard to do at this level. As a sophomore, He was the school's first South Coast Conference Pitcher of the Year and helped the Lancers win the 2019 South Coast North Division Championship. He was later named All-State. He went on to become a two-time All-Big West Conference first-team selection at UC Irvine. Welcome to the 2026 Hall of Fame, Gordon Inga Britzen.
First off, I just want to say thank you to Robert Lewis. It's an honor to be here and be recognized by Pasadena City College. PCC played a huge role in my life, not just as a player, but as a person. So this means a ton to me and my family. Before I even got to PCC, I was at a point in my life where I was leaving the University of Coastal Carolina and wasn't sure if I wanted to continue on. I was going to walk away from baseball at the time. I was questioning whether if it was worth it. Then I met Pat McGee, Coach Pat. He honestly really changed everything for me. He believed in me when I fully didn't believe in myself. He gave me every opportunity to become the player that I wanted to become. That opportunity and the coach he was and the advice that he gave me really, changed the trajectory of my career. And so for that, I'm, forever grateful for him. My time at PCC is where things, really started to come together for me. It gave me the confidence again to be successful, and it ultimately helped opening the door for me to go continue on at UC Irvine. But none of that happens, without what I experienced here. And so I just want to thank my parents. There's no way I'd be close to standing here without you both, from the early mornings and long drives and sacrifices that you guys didn't even think twice about. You gave me every opportunity to chase my dreams, and no matter what direction that went in, followed. And last but not least, I want to thank my beautiful wife. Thank you for always being my rock. You've pushed me to be a better man every single day. You've seen the good, the bad, and ugly with baseball, and have always been there to keep me standing tall. Whether that was in the stands at a hot day at Jackie Robinson or following me to Stanford for a regional, you've always been there to show up. PCC gave me a second shot at something that I almost gave up on, and it ended up shaping the rest of my career and my life. So thank you again for this honor. It truly means a lot. Thank you.
When I was in college, I played for a pretty hard head coach named Marty Burson, and he used to chew us out. Just chewed us out every chance he can get. So I'm sitting at a women's volleyball match at PCC, and our team loses the first set. And we had a curtain at Hutto-Patterson Gymnasium that came down and separated the fans from the action. So the coach takes the players behind the curtain, and I heard a speech that Tommy Lasorda would be proud of. Just chewed out her team after losing that first set. They come back in and they destroyed their opponent 3 straight sets to win the match. And that's what this type of coach was. She motivated. Our next inductee made a most impressive 6-year run as PCC women's volleyball coach from 2007 to 2012. She took a program that won just 4 matches combined in the previous 2 years and turned it into a regional powerhouse. This coach made history in 2009 by directing the school's first ever South Coast Conference champion, setting PCC records for most victories, 23, longest winning streak at 22. That team dominated with 19 sweeps. She was honored as the South Coast Conference Women's Coach of the Year for all sports. She coached PCC to a second SEC championship in 2012. 2 of her teams advanced to the regional finals. Her final Lancers record, 113 victories, just 35 losses, for a 764 win percentage. Welcome 2026 PCC Hall of Fame inductee, head coach, Tammy Silva.
Oh, what an honor to be here. There are better stories than the one he just shared, by the way. And I think Maudie, who just got inducted, was part of that positive speech behind the curtain, of course. Today I stand before you overwhelmed with gratitude, pride, and humility to be inducted into the Pasadena City College Hall of Fame, which many others spoke about, all the greats on the wall. When I first began this journey, I never imagined this. I simply wanted the opportunity to teach, to lead, and to help young women grow through the game of volleyball. What I learned very quickly is that coaching was never just about volleyball. It was about building confidence, creating family, these will help me, overcoming adversity, and helping student athletes believe they were capable of more than ever imagining. Every season brought new challenges, new personalities, and new dreams. There were long practices, tough losses, funny conversations, heartbreaks. I think I had quite a few conversations with girls coming to practice crying over someone, which I could never understand that. But through it all, what made this journey special were the people and the people I was surrounded around. To every player who came through our program, you are my legacy. Not the wins, not the championships, not the banners hanging in the gym. You are the legacy. Watching you grow as athletes, students, leaders, and women has been the greatest reward of my career. Many of you came to us uncertain. You left stronger, more confident, and ready to take on life. To my assistant coaches, athletic trainers, I thought I saw Patty here today. Thank you for putting up with me, but also my players. Thank you for the countless hours, your loyalty, and your belief in our vision. Championships may be celebrated publicly, but the real work happens quietly. To my family, Shandon, Savannah, who cannot be here, and Aiden, thank you for sharing me with my career, with my job, and with all of my amazing volleyball family. To my brother, Johnny, and to my parents who have now, well, my parents have passed. You are the reason I am who I am. Thank you to Skip Robinson. You took a chance on me, and little did I know you would change my entire career in life. So thank you so much. Robert Lewis, my forever Pasadena sandwich shop, which is an inside joke. Thank you for all of your support, not only for me, but for the sport of volleyball. And, And you are the top SID in the state, and you have always advocated for women's sports. And so thank you so much. And Joe Perone, I cannot forget you. Thank you for your mentorship, those calls when I called you to ask questions like, what is going on here? But thank you for being that friend in my life and for getting me on the right path here at PCC. Pasadena City College gave me the privilege to serve, to mentor, and to be part of something larger than myself. This institution changes lives every day, and I am proud to have played even a small role in that. Today, I accept this honor not for myself alone, but for every player who trusted me, every parent who trusted me with their child, every colleague who stood beside me, and every family member who supported me, and every student athlete who chose to believe. If my career has taught me anything, it is this. Success is not measured only in victories, but in lives impacted, relationships built, and standards carried forward long after the final whistle. I want to thank the PCC Hall of Fame Committee, again, Robert Lewis, Dr. Timmy Brown, the Dean of Kinesiology, and I will cherish this honor forever. Thank you all so much.
We have one more team to talk about. A little story about this team being inducted today. 25 years ago, I got a call prior to the football season from the Los Angeles Times. They wanted to do a JC football roundup, and asked if I could call with some highlights and the scores of our PCC games each Saturday. Knowing this was terrific publicity, I said, great, let's do it. Little did I know the Lancers would lead almost every roundup for a good reason. Yeah, we're talking about the 2001 PCC Lancers football team. There's a lot in the house. From start to finish, those players put on a clinic. They captured the program's only Mission Conference championship, finishing 10-1 under head coach Tom Marr. Two PCC Hall of Famers led the only JC All-American first-team backfield from the same college ever in record-setting 2,000-yard running back Jonathan Smith. And quarterback Nathan Chandler. This was the highest scoring team in PCC history at 42.3 points a game, while the squad led the state in total offense. Other All-Americans included center Jesus Yanez, defensive stars and lineman Jimmy Williams, and linebacker Jeff Runnels. PCC Hall of Famer James Griffin was a sack leader. They started the year on a 7-game win streak and closed it out with a victory over Grossmont in the South County Bowl. 39 players from that powerhouse team earned university scholarships. Please welcome 2026 inductee, the 2001 Lancers football team. When you hear your name, come on up. We got a lot of them. Jonathan Smith, Kurt Lother, Casimir Hill, James Griffin, Daryl Moore, Nathan Chandler, Danny Pittman, Mike Curry, Hannibal Thomas, Devon Wallace, Alan Kennett, Brian Knowles, Ulajuwon Lashore, Otto Evans, Bubba Strong, Jeff Runnels, Joe Timchenko, Marcus Wright, David Jones, Louis Zamora, Jimmy Williams, David Villarroel, Jonathan Parra, Jesus Yanez, Mike Ramirez, Alex Godfrey, Daniel Marquez, Vardon Mkhitaryan, Isaac Nicholson, Charles Pullis, Ibis Aguilar, Ryan Antle, Walter Olszewski, David Harley, Edgar Arenas, Andre Godfrey, JT Langston, the assistant coaches, Josh Alvarez, Paul Ingalls, Pete Smolin, Casey Gale, John Paredes, and of course, the head coach, and I'll call him my assistant sports information director, Tom Marr.
I like the stolen jersey.
Coach asked him, why didn't he have so much damage on his shoulders?
No comment on that. Everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Stretch your legs. Unless you were a running back. You rest those legs. I blew this up so I could read it, but I still need my glasses. Thank you, everyone. Legs feel a little better? Brooks, your legs better than the running back? I watched him and his brother play when I was in high school. Too good. I want to introduce my family. My wife couldn't be here. She's not well today. But I want to introduce my daughter, Riley. Everybody sit down, please. Except my family. Riley, PCC graduate, significant other, Alfredo Loera, and my son, Tanner, all went to PCC. My son went to a different junior college. He went to Compton and then Fullerton following me as I ran around coaching some other places later. But then he became a strength coach and worked in the SEC for 6 years. How much fun was it for Dad, no longer in coaching, to have a son to follow through, vicariously follow his career? So he worked at Mississippi State in Florida, and then he worked in the Big 12 at BYU, or Kansas and then BYU, and now he's the head strength coach at UNLV. So how much fun for me and my wife. Thank you. Madison is here. My niece Madison is here, and my brother Chuck. And I know this is not my Hall of Fame, but I'm taking advantage of the situation. Wouldn't you? And my wife will see this film later. I love you, Kyrie. All right, I also want to introduce somebody that I think is really going to lead this division of ours forward. Athletics Director and Kinesiology Dean, Dr. Timmy Brown, down over here. She has a vision for this school and will lead our athletic division into a new golden era. Okay, once upon a time, football was a big deal in this community. The Pasadena Quarterback Club used to have me come and speak every Friday for like 9 or 10 years. How much they had to listen to my terrible jokes. Anyway, it was so much fun. And the community, football was a big deal. I already said that. But there's a few people here. Scott Bell, did you show up? Didn't make it. Ron Oakham, are you here? He left early? These are cute. Couldn't take it any longer. Mark Barada, are you still here? Anyway, these are all people that were fantastic contributors to our community, now in their old age and cut out early. Is Dennis Hayward here? Skip, is he here? He was? Then we move on.
I want to say a few words about Bill Sandström, who was inducted today. He was my coach in 1972. And when I came back in 1996, I created the Bill Sandström scrimmage and barbecue. So that was the culmination of our training camp every year, was this really cool inter-squad scrimmage, and then we'd all eat together. And then my first day in the office, I walked into the old gym down in the corner. It was built in like 1924. And I went into the faculty men's locker room. You know, window wells, for you people from the Midwest know what a window well is. Well, anyway, I'm down in there and I see Bill Sandström's locker, this rusty old locker, and I open it up, and there's nothing in there except this old Bulova watch with a broken wristband. I just remembered, this has been in my socks drawer for 30 years, but this is Bill Sandström's wristwatch, so I guess I stole it. But it was a game I played in, so I thought this was spooky. You know, I've got this Bulova watch with, you know, Metro Champs, Potato Bowl, and I don't think anybody's here from Bill's family, but he used to come to our scrimmage, and his family would come, and his children, his 6 kids, and his wife, and Sydney, and they would go, oh, you know, we grew up here. Well, that gym's gone, and those days are gone. But Bill's postseason talks to us as a team in the old S building, he'd get up on a stool and start, man, we won 12 straight games and all of them by less than a touchdown, and it was like he'd go crazy. We loved it. He was awesome. He loved Pasadena City College. Okay, here's my disclaimer. Moving on. My disclaimer. Okay, these kids, I think the guy in the stolen jersey did this, Otto. The kids put up a YouTube video of the 2001 highlight film, and it was the Jonathan Smith Fox Sports News film, and then the highlight of the offense, the defense, and so forth of that season, claiming it was the greatest Pasadena team ever. So then my phone rang. I don't know if Harvey's still here, but anyway, my coach, Harvey Hyde, my offensive coordinator, he said, Tom, now, you're taking some liberties. And I said, I didn't do it. Anyway, I'll tell you what is true. We were not the greatest football team in Pasadena City College history. In the 100-year history of this school, there's about 20 that were absolutely phenomenal. This is one of them, but we lost a ball game. We'll talk about it. But I'll tell you what is true. I'll tell you what is true. It was the greatest offense in the history of the school, statistically and otherwise. And Robert already said all the numbers, which will shorten my talk, so he'll still be talking to me tomorrow. It also had the greatest running back in the history of the school, Jonathan Smith. Ridiculous numbers. We'll talk, and his name is mentioned with the Youngbloods, all those games. And the greatest quarterback in the history of the school. It's just statistically and otherwise, okay? But again, we also had 9 future Division I FBS, Division 1A we used to call it in the old days, right? We had 9 kids signed out of this roster just in the front 7. You know, we had a bunch of kids go Division II, but that's usually, you know, you're just a little bit short on your units, long story. We also had, yeah, well, or sometimes kids come to a junior college after being at a 4-year, Lothar and some of these guys, you know, so they've already started their clock. I guess we've learned now there is no clock anymore. I'd still be playing. We also had 9 future FBS players on the offense. All right, so the lead up to it, I'd been here 6 years, getting my handed to me. My first season was the final season at Harrell Field. And we were in the oldest gym, 1924, in the whole state. We spent 3 years without that facility. Year 2, 3, 4, we were at Wilson School down Del Mar on the puncture weed field and the filming off the roof of an old 1920 gym, and it was incredible. We dressed on residential streets out of the out of our cars. The kids all had to get dressed in the street. We played our games at Occidental. But in spite of that, we still won most of our non-conference games. Then we would go into Mission Conference Northern Division play, and I'd go 1-4 or 0-5 every year. And there's no making excuses about it. We weren't as good as the greatest group of schools in the state. Anyway, something happened. They built the Hudo Patterson gym and the Jack and Mac Robinson Stadium. Football suddenly had 5 football offices and a war room and a locker room and a weight room. Can you imagine? We used to tell, these kids were told to go, early on, to go lift weights in a private gym somewhere. It was impossible. And then Mount Sac, where I came from, is just sitting over there, loving it. So we had to learn how to win. So that year, we moved into the gym, we went 5-5, but we won 5 games by 4, 5, 6, 7, and because of God bless Golden West, 41. You always kicked there back in those days. But we also lost 5 games by 2, 2, 4, 5, and 11 to Mount Sac. God bless Mount Sac. Tammy, wherever you are. All right? So we were there. We knew we had a chance, and if it wasn't for 3 insane snaps, we're 8-2. But we're not. So now we're going into the next season. So what's most important? The staff. So I got Josh Alvarez, the offensive line coach. Where are you? Josh Alvarez, big time. He came on board, former Mount Sac All-American center of mine, used to beat everybody up, and act surprised when he got a penalty. He went to Boise State. Refs would go, unsportsmanlike conduct, and he'd go, what? Demanding teacher. He taught accountability, physicality above all else. But we were learning how to win. Then the running back coach, Paul Ingalls, where are you? Paul Ingalls joined us, showing much enthusiasm, attention to details. Paul kept his backs humble, hardworking. They never fumbled. Never fumbled. Never. And they never left the practice field until all the other position groups had left the field. That's usually the offensive line was usually last, because Coach Alvarez was always doing something diabolical to them. Dennis Gossard coached here.
Coach Gossard.
He was here from 1979 to 2010, 32 years. Dennis is a former PCC head coach, the winningest head coach in the history of the school, and member of the PCC Hall of Fame. He served as my co-defensive coordinator with Ted Clark. Ted is not here. Dennis had a wonderful enthusiasm for kids and got them to play hard. One day, he and the defensive kids all showed up wearing T-shirts that read, "Eat nails and shit crowbars." I still don't know what that means, but these guys still talk about it. Dennis, they called him Goss, was a hoot. And Dennis passed away June 9th, 2025. I attended a memorial at Crescenta Valley High School where his son Hudson is the head football coach at Crescenta Valley High School. Our defensive back coach was Demetrius Martin. He's not here because he's at Arizona State coaching. And it's a miracle when you get a Division I guy to be anywhere. Like my son drove in, he's going to drive right back out, back to his job. That's all they do is work, work, work. It's awesome. Anyway, Demetrius Martin coached at USC after this. I gave him his first college job. He's just a kid going, what am I going to do next? And then he went to USC, and Pete Carroll got him. And then he went to UCLA. He went to, you name the school. He went to Washington, Arizona, Colorado, Oregon, Michigan State, and UCLA again last year where my son's team beat him. And then and now Arizona State. So he was a great coach. And then Ted Clark was my co-defense coordinator. He couldn't make it today. He lives out in Arizona. My old teammate Tom Snyder also couldn't make it, but he moved here from Fort Wayne, Indiana when he heard I was working and needed help, and he became my associate head coach. He's really good friends with Eric Valadez, and he bought a house in Monrovia. He bought a house in Monrovia. I wasn't even paying him. He was a volunteer, and he had a back house with a pool, and I think, Nate Chandler, you lived there, didn't you, for a while? Didn't you live there for a while? Yeah. Yeah. But thank you. In a 3-year period, I'll put it up here like Nick Saban does. 17 Indiana kids came out here to play because of Tom's influence back in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Pete Smolin is here. Pete Smolin came up from the high school ranks, was a special teams coordinator, tight end coach.
Rugby coach?
I soon learned that Pete wanted to be great. He wanted to be a head coach again. He has a long, successful career as a head coach in various high schools in the Inland Empire and in Utah. He's back. He's head coach at Don Lugo High School right now. He and I played for the same rugby team in different centuries. Yeah. John Paredes is here. John Paredes served as my right-hand man. John taught me this newfangled thing to use called a cell phone. I was telephoning children. Boy, when I got that cell phone, I was dangerous. He showed me how I was going to change recruiting. He ran the office and the 4-year schools. Remember, it's all about retention and transfer. Casey Gale is here, our wide receiver coach. Casey also played for me at Mount Sac, was an all-mission conference receiver, and then went and played at Ohio U Bobcats. He did a nice job of managing the very talented receiver group who supported one another. We're not jealous of one another. Jeff Wilkinson also coached here, but he lives in Asia. And Nathaniel Stevenson, I saw you here today. I didn't know you were around. He was my volunteer. Awesome. Patty Gallegos, our trainer, is here still, right? Patty, there she is. Patty Gallegos. Did Rudy Aguilar make it?
Rudy, Patty.
Listen, they were professional trainers. The kids loved them. They'll come back after 25 years. They go straight to the training room and give her a big hug. We had no injuries that year. My teams were famous for being injury. This team stayed healthy, so they were successful because of these pros. Terry Tapley didn't make it. Mike McClellan didn't make it. Did somebody say yes? Mike McClellan was our athletic zone director. He's at Chafee now. And Terry Tapley retired. Yes, sir. He is here?
Right there. You see Tap? You see Tap?
Terry Tapley was the ruler of the S building dungeon, the one-sided bleacher of Harrell Field. He was down in the basement. Poor guy had to live down there, yeah. And then he moved into the new complex. Now he had the best equipment room in the whole state. It was awesome. Anyway, kids loved him. Our associate athletic director was Dick Tomlinson. He retired years ago. He died December 30th, 2024. And then our dean was Skip Robinson. He's everywhere. He loved PCC. He wanted to be great. He was hoping I'd get it done in the Mission North. He had to wait a whole while for that to happen. Okay. We did lose. I saw some kids here today that were not able to play in 01. But I did want to mention that in that summer before the season started, we lost 7 kids that were great players, like Mike Watson, who later started for West Virginia. He's in here somewhere. Also John Moore, who went to Kansas State. He's deceased now. And then there was Steve Wiggins, who went to Ohio, and Big E, Emmanuel Valcourt, who went to Iowa State, and then Mears James Samuel, who went to Utah State. These are all great kids that didn't get to play. So what's awesome is that this staff developed new kids to play, and they were just as good, if not better. It was really something to witness. And then recruiting, what was essentially recruiting was I got a phone call from an old teammate in 1973 of mine here, Brian Chandler. He called me from South Lake Carroll, Texas, and said, hey, my son is at, Uncle? My son, Nathan Chandler, is at Texas Tech, and the coach is retiring, and Mike Leach has taken over the program, and Leach has a different plan than to play my son. So I said, let's do it. So I called Mike Leach immediately, and within 3 days before the Sandström scrimmage, this quarterback shows up. So by the end of the season, he was starting and killing it and doing really great and beat Cerritos in triple overtime. Yeah, it was good stuff. And then the next thing that happened was I had recruited a running back in 1999 by the name of Jonathan Smith, and he chose to go to East Los Angeles College. There's no accounting for taste. No, he's having a son, and he wanted to stay home. So he played at East LA for half a season, and then called me. It was a big decision for him, and he called me. But again, when I was recruiting him, I'm recruiting him out of a wood shack. We didn't have a complex yet, and so he went somewhere else. And then he came back to us, but he was ineligible. And of course, I asked the head coach at East Los Angeles, would you give him back his grades? You gave him straight Fs and everything for quitting. Could you give him straight A's so he can play for me in 2000? He's going, yeah, if he plays at East LA. Well, no, they changed. Otto. Nobody out here wants to know you stole that jersey.
I never stole anything.
Okay. Oh, you're telling me Coach Tapley gave you the jersey?
Yes.
Terry? All right, so anyway, Jonathan Smith ended up playing here in 01. And the records, they went over them, which shortens my talk. Aren't you happy? And Nathan later played at University of Iowa, where they won their first bowl game in 44 years. And he later signed with the Buffalo Bills. Jonathan Smith went to Washington State and went to a Rose Bowl and one other bowl and led their team and did great. And Washington State was really, really good back then, like number 8 in the country. And then he went to play. He got cut by a bunch of teams, yeah. But so did I. It's what we do. We try. Yeah, no, he was a great player. But he ended up in Amsterdam playing for Al Luganbill, who coached here, and led the NFL Europe in rushing.
That part.
They called him Jay Smooth. All right, Jonathan was also our leading receiver with 26 catches, 9 touchdowns receiving. It was a really good team. And again, the Fox Sports News and all that stuff that Robert set up was fantastic. Okay, the next interesting recruit was a wildly talented outside linebacker named James Griffin. Where's James? Raise your hand. There he is. He came from East High School in Memphis, and he would call me, we'd talk on the phone, I wouldn't understand a word he said. That Memphis accent was like a mouthful of marbles. So I tell everybody I taught him to speak English. And that's why he has a career now. He's the head football coach at San Bernardino Valley College, going into year 2. Then Griff called one time and said, well, my buddy Jimmy wants to come out. And I go, yeah, who's Jimmy? How about a 6'3", 310-pound, 3 technique from East Mississippi JUCO in Scuba? And I said, he can come. Where's Jimmy? Yeah. He's a YouTube celebrity, I'll tell you. So things were looking up. So Griff led the team in sacks and did all that. And a year later, Griff was, they were saying he's the, on the internet, he's the nation's top returning defender and all that good stuff. He made first team All-American the following year and all that. And then played Beamer ball at Virginia Tech. And then Jimmy Williams was a third team All-American and transferred to Virginia Tech as well. Our best defensive player in 2000, who was our leader coming into this 01 season, was Jeff Runnels. Got him from San Dimas High School. My linebacker coach at the time said he can't play here. And I said, oh, no, he can play here. See how tall and skinny he is? He can run. Yeah, his brain works. Yeah, so he was all-conference and all-American and our tackle leader, and he transferred to Bowling Green State University and played for Urban Meyer, the famous Urban Meyer. Fullback, Alan Kennett, are you here? That's amazing. Joe Timchenko, place kicker, kickoff from Arroyo. Where are you? There he is. Second team All-Mission Conference, a school record 48 PATs, 11 for 17 on field goal, conference kick scoring leader, also played for Urban Meyer, went to Bowling Green State University. Jesus Yanez. There he is. Jesus Yanez, All-American, All-Conference. Transfer, I'll talk about a little bit about him later. He also went to Bowling Green State University, so we had 4 guys go there. And they'd come back. Wait a minute. And Vardon, Don Mkhitaryan. Wait. Burbank High School, Scholar All-American, first All-Conference. And because he switched from D-line to O-tackle, he earned Most Improved Player, transferred to Bowling Green State University. So there's the 4th. Those guys would come back and visit with me during Christmas break, and I'd be in the office because I was crazy on my phone recruiting, and they'd go, "Can we use the weight room?" And Urban Meyer's going to kill us if we're not in shape when we get back. You know, that was amazing. So Urban Meyer ran into me at the national convention. I'm standing there with Coach Paredes in the lobby at the national convention, thousands of coaches, and Urban Meyer's just won the national championship again, and he comes blowing in with his staff from the hotel, from the airport, and he looks over and sees me as he's marching by, and he goes, "Tom Marr, the University of Pasadena." Because back, this place was coming back. It was coming back, and that recognition. I want to also mention, where's our tight end, Ryan Antel? Serrano Phelan. 25 receptions, all conference, freshman player of the year, also transferred to Ohio University. Hannibal Thomas, wide receiver, Lincoln High School. 34 catches, second team all conference. In the last 2 games of the season, game 10 and 11, he caught 18 passes and 5 touchdowns. All-American the following year. But he was a 1,000-yard receiver at the University of Cincinnati. He was starting to be left behind in recruiting a little bit. And then, so I had him meet me at Carl Jr.'s across the street during a dead period. And I had a recruiter sitting in there having a famous star. And I said, "Here he is." And then that put it together. Then he went to Cincinnati, did great. And then I think later had signed with the Falcons. Well, that's okay. I've had a career saying I signed here and there. Yeah. That's funny. Okay, I'm going to skip a bunch of guys. Daniel Marquez, right tackle, Cathedral. Where are you? Wave your hand in the air. Second team all-conference, transferred to West Virginia State. Otto Evans, Pasadena linebacker. West Virginia Tech. Get out of here. My local hero.
Don't forget about the national championships in Australia.
No.
2 of them.
Go. Now, Teron Brown was a D tackle out of John Muir High School. He's deceased. Son is where?
Over here to the left. Jason Brown.
This is the son of Teron Brown, Jason Teron Brown. Raise your hand. He's a senior at Muir. Junior at Muir. Okay, wanted to represent his father. His father's died some years ago, but his father played at West Virginia Tech. Okay, people that I think are here. Mike Ramirez, John Muir, D tackle. Are you here? Brian Knowles, defensive back, John Muir. Who else am I missing from Pasadena or Muir? Anybody? All right. Kurt Lothar, cornerback, Miami Southridge. Wave your hand. Second team all conference. He was at Glenville State and miserable. And so I got him, he played here, and then he later went to Kentucky State. Very loyal, very hardworking, great player. Andre Godfrey, safety from Miramar, Florida. He won us a game. He blocked a punt against Fullerton the year before and was our special teams player of the year before. David Harley, defensive tackle. David Harley was from Lincoln High School, Tallahassee. You're down over here. Big old guy. 3-sack, transferred to Rutgers. I think still wants to get into coaching. Because you make so much money. Yeah. Charles Pools, wide receiver, Miami Sunset. Transferred to Florida International. Still living in the Miami area, very successful in the world. Isaac Nicholson, offensive guard, Harding Fort Wayne, Indiana. Isaac, we're playing in the bowl game. We're on the right hash. I put slot to the field. I put Hannibal Thomas to the field. The defense rotated. The game plan was the boundary corner's real physical. He's going to come up and play a Jonathan Smith Bob sweep, and we're going to kill him. And so Isaac pulled and hit this corner. It's all on film. Oh, my Lord. That kid went down and he never played another down. His mother was calling me about the lawsuit from Grossmont College in the bowl game. I mean, put that guy into next week. But that was the game plan, is to, you know, knock out the other guy, right? Don't hate me, okay? Alex Godfrey, offensive guard, Evans, Orlando. He transferred to Howard University. Olajuwon LaShore, did he make it? Marcus Wright, did he make it?
Yes.
Did you bring your mom? Is she here?
Right there.
Look, there she is. Marcus Wright was a linebacker from Southside High School, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Went to Indiana State. J.T. Langston, wide receiver from Harding, Fort Wayne. There he is. Living locally now. Okay, the Monrovia guys. Daryl Moore, corner, punt return, Monrovia.
Yeah.
First all-mission, first all-state, led the team with 3 interceptions and 11 breakups, 26 tackles, was a great player for us. And I got all these Monrovia kids because I hired their favorite coach, Coach Meat, Demetrius Martin. Mike Curry's not here. Did David Jones make it?
No.
Okay, so we're skipping past the 5 guys, right? Kaz Hill, running back, Upland. Kaz rushed for 97 yards against Golden West in week 3. People don't understand that Coach Ingalls was playing 3 running backs in the first part of the season. They were competing like the Dickens, and then it became the Jonathan Smith show, you know, where he rushed for 2,049 yards and all that. There's people not here today that I'm not bringing up that were really good players. I do want to mention for you USC fans that Dante Williams was the second string safety here, had 20 tackles out of Culver City High School. He's not here, but he transferred to Syracuse. But later on, he was the interim head coach at USC Trojans. Yeah, and now he's the associate head coach for the Georgia Bulldogs. So he done good. He's got more money than everybody in this room now. Okay. Devon Devo Wallace, fullback, Culver City. He transferred to Western New Mexico. Parra's not here. David Villarreal, offensive guard, San Gabriel, transferred to West Virginia State. Ibis Aguilar, tight end, Mountain View, transferred to University of Laverne. Great high school coach. Louis Zamora, linebacker, El Rancho, was our defensive scout team player of the year. And he said, I don't think I want to play any more football. And I said, don't quit, learn, pay attention. And now he's this legendary high school coach. He's Cal High right now, right? Yeah, doing great. Edgar Arenas, defensive back, Queen of Angels. Not here? Okay.
I'm right here.
He's here.
Not everybody else.
Okay, thank you. I want to mention John Apiafi, defensive back. He tried out. He moved here from Mary Knoll of Lagos, Nigeria. His mother is Grace. Where are you, Grace? She was here a minute ago. I ran her off. Anyway, her son blew out his knee, so he couldn't play. I want to mention a famous house, the Lancer House. The Lancer House wasn't the first and wasn't the last of houses I put kids in, but Lordy, what 19-year-olds can do to a house. Anyway, that was Boo and Kaz and Chuck and just all these guys living there. My defensive coordinator went in there and fixed 17 broken windows. Unbelievable. What kids will do. But it's competitive. Okay, the season. Yeah. We destroyed Glendale 54-17. We beat East LA at home 45-10. We blew out Golden West 44-7. Santa Ana, we beat them 47-31. Beat up Orange Coast 27-10. The Orange County referee crew called 23 penalties for 231 yards. That's a state record. They said, you're too physical. Then at mid-season, we were pretty excited, but here we go, undefeated. Mount Sac, we beat them 46-27. Jonathan Smith rushed for 317 yards, broke your brother's record by 1 yard. We're there. We're almost there. Week 7, Riverside. We won the game. I'm skipping the funny stuff. We won the game 30. Yeah. Thanks. I have tenure. Yeah, Jonathan Smith rushed for 287 yards in that game. Week 8, we lost to the nation. We were number 1 in the nation. We lost to El Camino. Boo-hoo. We lost. And our 40-game scoring streak ended. Week 9, we beat Cerritos 51-12. We smashed national records. Jonathan Smith did. Then we played. My favorite thing about the Cerritos game was our center calling out the Mike linebacker. Just telling him, we're running the ball right here. Just taunting him. And then we ran the ball right there, and the offensive line destroyed them. Week 10, we beat Larry Risebig's Long Beach team 55-14. Nathan Chandler threw 6 touchdown passes, a record. So we won a conference for the first time in 21 years. So the greatest era of PCC football was the 70s, really from when Harvey Hyde and Bill Sandström and Myron Tarkanian got there under a president that wanted to win, who they named buildings after now. And so this was trying to return to that era. All right.
Tell me more about El Torito. Tell me El Torito.
Can't do it. So that's it.
I've never cut anybody off, but I have to cut off Tom Moore right now.
We're doing one more.
Congratulations to the 2001 PCC football team. Stay for a quick photo.
Coach,
we need everybody together.
No, we're doing the, here, doing the moment. Here we go. 9 players from this team are deceased. We're going to read their names and have a moment of silence. Go.
John Moore, J.D. Ziska, Alex Cathcart, Orlando Sanchez, Teron Brown, Jason Jones, Emmanuel Valcourt, Richard Boatwright, John Epiafi, Coach Dennis Gossard, Associate AD Dick Tomlinson, and Assistant Equipment Supervisor Stevie Myers.
Rest in peace.
Moment of silence.
Thank you, everyone.
The best part I didn't get to do at the very end.
Quick photo, guys. Everybody, quick photo. And then everybody, quick photo.
We're doing it in the back, aren't we?
Thank you. No, right here. Real quick, guys. Jeff. Stay right here. Quick photo, everybody. Quick photo, real quick photo. Look up. Step out. Everybody looking up. Everybody looking up.
Go. Get in here.
We have another inductee. I'm going to say a few thank yous. Please stick around. We have one more inductee, but I want to say a few thank yous. First, thanks to staging specialist Steve Dietrich and his staff for the use of Sexton Auditorium and the sounds and lighting here. Steve has always helped athletics over the years on sound at all of our athletic events, and he is retiring this year. Thanks to our digital media technician and photographer, Rochelle Allen, a longtime employee who has been involved in helping at Hall of Fame events for many years. I want to thank our live stream producer, Will Del Rosario. I want to thank Dr. Brown and the kinesiology volunteers for helping us out. And I want to thank two special people that are the best of PCC. Two guys who care about helping others, care about making PCC look good to the outside. One is equipment attendant, Eric Valadez. Eric goes above and beyond to help everyone and helped so much for this event. A true Lancer. And the other, you don't know him. You may know him. He's been helping this entire campus look good due to his graphic design, writing, and publication skills for many years. For this event alone, he created the media guide, got our inductees the hats, worked in concert with the vendor to create frames, and that logo up there, that's his creation. He's a loyal Lancer, Gilbert Rivera. And lastly, I want to thank all the student athletes, coaches, and teams in our PCC athletics history. That's why we do this. Our Hall of Fame is for you and for them because you earned it. And now our final inductee. Sometimes in sports, a great performer or a great coach can't catch a break. And that seemed to be the case for this legendary head coach. First as a player, this PCC alum helped the Lancers men's basketball team advance to the 1983 state championship final, a heartbreaking triple overtime loss to Cerritos. As a Lancers head coach in women's basketball, he took his squad to back-to-back state championship games in 2004 and 2005, only to come back without the big prize. But then, in 2009, when it was least expected, his team caught magic. History was made, and this coach reached the pinnacle, directing a state champion. From 1996 to 2025, he became one of the greatest coaches in the history of California Community College women's basketball. He stands above the rest as the all-time wins leader in any sport in the 101-year history of PCC athletics. A record of 593 victories in 28 seasons. From 2004 to 2010, he set a state record by coaching his teams to 7 consecutive appearances at the state final 8. As mentioned in 2009, his Lancers captured the title, but did you know that was the first state championship in PCC women's sports history? Three times his teams played in state championship game. 2 other times they made it to the semis. His squads produced 6 South Coast Conference champions and made 25 trips to the playoffs. In 2006-07, the team set single-season PCC records for most wins with 34, longest win streak, 28 in a row. 3 of his PCC players became Hall of Famers, Tiana Sanders, Dion Pounds, and from earlier today, Kinyatta Johnson. It's my honor to welcome 2026 head coach inductee, Joe Perau.
We're gonna get out of here. I'm sorry. Hey, we're gonna get through this. Hey, glory to God. This is awesome. Hey, to the college, the foundation, and to our committee, y'all done good. Y'all done good. With all the inductees. I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. Hey, I started coaching. I wear these boots because of Nolan Richardson, Arkansas men's basketball coach. I saw him on TV with these, he a big guy, size 18, 19 shoes. He had some red boots on. And I said, what is he doing? 3 years later, guess who wearing boots? Don't be talking about people, folks. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. I wear this hat. That's my nephews. They're cowboys over there in Kansas. And, but hey, is that dude back there? That's my cowboy. That's my cowboys. Yeah. Let me set the record straight. I'm not retired. You know when Michael Jordan took a little break, came back after playing a little baseball, won a couple more championships? I'm coming back. But here's what I think is going on. The college, the foundation, the committee, they just giving us our flowers now, giving us our honor where honor's due, so our family and our friends can enjoy it with us. So that's what they're doing right now for all these inductees. So give them a hand for that, folks. Give them a hand. I want to let you know that half of my speech is just about appreciating people. That's what it's about. I'm recognizing people. You don't get up here by yourself. All these folks, you don't get up here by yourself. Hey, if you ever see a turtle on top of a pole, just know he didn't get there by himself. Somebody put him up there. And I'm going to start recognizing some people that helped me to get up here, folks. First of all, it's prom day for my daughter. She's not here. I guess that's more important than. But it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. My wife is here. Right here, Sandra. Stand up, please. Remain standing, because some of y'all, my players ain't seen her in a while. That's my son right here. LaRon is here. And they've been supporting. My wife, we used to go to basketball. Before we were married, we go to scouting, recruiting people. You know, that was our date for some time, you know. And then we got married, and she still came. And then my son, when he was born, about 6 months old, my wife says, your turn to watch the baby. I said, okay. Put him on my back. We're going to go to practice. As simple as that. So he was in practice a lot with us. So thank you guys so much for supporting me. You can have a seat. I like to have my family. Well, my sibling, I got 7 siblings, brothers and sisters. Where they all at? Stand up there, wait, look at her. There you go. I have one sister not here. She's still in Dallas. She couldn't make it, but I appreciate them for supporting me. Where my coaches at that have coached with me over the last 30 years, almost 30 years? Where my coaches? Stand up, coaches. Look at it. There's my coaches, folks. Coach Judith, that's Dr. Judith. That's Coach Beverly over there. That's Coach Gary right there. Coach Kinyatta that just went in the Hall of Fame, and Coach Kim. Thank you guys for being a part of this. You can have a seat. Who I got here? I'm gonna get through it, folks. I'm sorry. Where's my? I gotta go to my players, folks, because they're the reason I'm up here. So if you played for us at Pasadena City College the last 28, 29 years, stand up, please. Stand up. If you played at Pasadena City College. Look at them. Where are my fans at? There they go. And I thank you guys so much. We've been through some stuff. We've been through some stuff. I didn't know when you started coaching that you were going to be the social worker and go to social services to help players get their kids back, you know, after they finish school. I didn't know we were going to the hospital. Coach Gary and Coach Lynette and myself, we take turns going to the emergency ward because somebody had to go to the hospital for anxiety or injury. You be there 6, 7, 8 hours, you know. And we said, okay, it's your turn. If somebody got to go, it's your turn this trip, and it's your turn. But I didn't know that, man. We've been to weddings. My wife and I have been across the country to graduations. We've been to weddings. We've been to baby showers. We've been to graduate. If I didn't go to your graduation, don't be mad, players. It's just that we just went where we could go, you know. Been to funerals, folks. I had to give away one or two of my players at weddings, because Dad wasn't there, So I didn't know you had to sign up for this when you were the coach, but we've been through a lot. When I first started coaching, one of my guys named JJ, he in Sugarland, Texas, James Johnson, he said, man, you sure you want to coach? I said, why? He said, you know where the best coaches sit? I said, right here on the bench. He said, no, they don't. They sit up in the stands, they critique everything you do, and they know everything you did wrong and what you should have done. And they talk about you. He said, you ready for that? I said, hey. I said, I guess. So that's my church buddy. So can I have my church family stand up? I got from LA County to Orange County. Look at that. That's my church people, folks. That's my church, folks. I appreciate you guys coming. All these people supported, this program in some form, fashion, some way. And I appreciate that. Folks, I'm a product of Pasadena. I think I'm the only full-time employee in our division that's from Pasadena right now, And so I love Pasadena. Like you already said, I tell my recruits, this is where God lives. He do. He visits every other city in the world, but he lives right here in Pasadena. Is Coach Holmquist there? Coach Holmquist. So I left Pasadena. Robert told you guys we lost in the state championship after 2 or 3 overtimes. I should have took the last shot, but I didn't. It's okay. Because I went to Biola University. Turn around for Coach Holmquist. Stand up, please. That's who I played for. Won a national championship with Coach Holmquist at Biola University. That man got over 1,100 wins, folks. Okay. And I'm not going to coach that long, but I come from coaches that knew how to win, knew how to win. And one more part of my family, my engrafted people into my family. You want to be a part of the Clark clan, or the Perau's. I got my cousins, my nephews, all those people. But I got my folks from Northern California, the Uke I went to school with Belinda, her husband. They would come down to most of our games in San Jose, just drive down with their 3 daughters, And so I want to thank them for being supportive of our team. I got my 2 business partners right here, Daryl and Damian. If you got some kids who want to learn about track and field, go see them guys. But let me say this. I never set out to be the winningest coach in PCC history in any sport. I never set out to be the top 5 in the state of California for men's basketball. I never set out to be in the Hall of Fame. All I wanted to do with my coaches was just, if we got your daughter to come here, to make her a better player and a better person than she was when she came. That's what we wanted to do. That's all we want to do. And so with that, I want to say there's 3 things. Because of us imparting into them what we had, our abilities, our talents, and let me stop, I'm sorry. Folks, this is my announcer, Huisha Bush. He would drive down from Apple Valley for $15 a game and then go to work overnight up in Palmdale area. He did that for us for years, folks. And I got to recognize, please stand up. That's his wife right there, stand up. I mean, his voice carries, he's an announcer, folks. I'm telling you, this guy is unreal. And since he sold some seat with us for $15 that I was paying him, then I got him a raise. I got him to do the men's game, so he got $15 and $50, he got $30. But because of that, I introduced him to Penny Toller, who scored the first points in the WNBA. She was a general manager at the Sparks. He's been the Sparks announcer, how many years? 14 years, folks. He's done the WNBA in Florida, the NBA in Florida. He's done he does the G League for the Clippers. He's been to Africa to doing the NBA. Just because he didn't say, Joe, I can't come down there for $15. He came. And I said, man, well, I'm gonna help you out one day. Got him to Penny, and look at his life, man. That's unreal. So, but I just want to say, God gives us talents to use to give to other people. Coach Smith, I played for Coach Turgeon here. Coach Smith snatched me from men's basketball to women's basketball. And I said, man, I don't care about women's basketball. I really don't care about women's basketball. I just do this because they pay me these camps. I'm serious. I don't care about women's basketball. He said, Joe, just get some of them girls that come to PCC. I said, ew. He said, why don't you come coach? I said, I want to coach women's basketball. And he said, I said, I'll tell you what. After 2 years of bugging me, I said, God, if you want me to coach women's basketball, I try to give God something impossible. I said, make me the co-head coach with Coach Smith at PCC. Coach Smith goes and tells the dean, Skip Robinson, hey, can you make Coach Perau the co-head coach? I can get him to come coach. Don't tell Skip stuff because he'll get it done. Skip comes back and tells Coach Smith, hey, Perau's the co-head coach with you. He tells me, I said, God, you really want me to coach women's basketball? I went from not liking it to not caring about it to loving it. I've been doing it for 28, 29, 30 years, folks, coaching women's basketball. God opened that door for me to be in women's basketball. And watch this, folks. Any door God's open, no man can close it. You better walk through it. I've been walking through it in the fruition of these young ladies and the relationships that I've met and I've had just because I went through that door. And I've been in women's basketball ever since, you know. But my coaches, we just imparted what we had into these young ladies so they can grow up. So real quickly, folks, from district attorneys, got 10 doctors, folks. Mary Appiafi was the first doctor in our program. She was the doctor for the Cleveland Cavaliers when LeBron left the Heat and went back to Cleveland. She's now the doctor for the Valkyries in Sacramento women's WNBA team. She's the head doctor there, but we got dentists, physical therapists. I got doctor education right here, Judah. We got like 10 doctors out of our program, but that's nothing. We got teachers. We have teachers, folks. Teachers are important, okay? I got the director for the women's East LA Women's Clinic over there for abused women and battered women, and Monique over there. From military, from reserves to FBI agents. Folks, what these young ladies have gone on to do in life is remarkable. And I'm looking at one of them right now. I'm not going to look at it right now because you guys. Anyway, when I said I didn't know what you signed up for, I told you about the social service, but I try to. One of my kids was running around with some crystal meth for a while, and I said, "You're not playing for me." And I said, I'm about to put you in rehab. And she said, no, don't do it. I said, no. And she said, this is why I play basketball. This is why I go to school, so I'll stop. I said, you can't stop. But she stopped. Cold turkey, folks. Cold turkey, she stopped. Didn't put her in a rehab, which I called to get her in. For 6 months, they said. We went to the state tournament for the first time with her back on the team. Okay. I've had girls that attempted suicide. I'm calling the suicide prevention line and just walking through this with them. And I've had people that passed away, and I'm asking, Coach, what do you do? They said, I don't know, Coach, we never had players pass away. I said, so I'm walking through this first time knowing. But my friends, my family, my folks, they were with me, and we got through this. I'm about to close with this, folks. Kinyatta, who's in the Hall of Fame, we were like this her first year, folks. I kicked her out. I said, you're suspended. See you. 30 days, she was gone. Gone. And the team fought back for her to get back on the team. And you know, we have a program of structure, discipline, and rules. And that wasn't something she was used to. Okay? And she bucked the system. And I'm like, let's just get rid of her. You know, not to get rid of her, but put her on suspension so she can appreciate what she is missing. 30 days later, she's back in the gym. We win the state championship. She's the MVP of the state, folks. I send her kids money on their birthdays, you know, everything, you know. Just, we like this now. But you got to help people grow. You don't just get rid of people. You got to help them grow into what God wants them to be. Hey, so that's my speech. Dr. Costa, who hired me as a president, on his license plate, it said Pasadena City College is a great place to work. And this is a fabulous place to work, folks. Thank you guys for sticking it out and staying here. I got my hat. I got my pen. Y'all don't give out rings? Okay, here we go.
quickly, Dr. Brown would like to say a few words, please, a couple of closing remarks just before we can close this out. Thank you all for being patient and listening to all the speeches and really appreciating Pasadena City College athletics and its history.
Thank you, Robert. I promise I'll be quick. I just want to congratulate all the 2026 inductees. Truly an honor to be in your presence today and hear some of your stories. We would like to recognize 2 individuals quickly if we could. The first individual, Mr. Tom Marr. Come on up. On behalf of Kinesiology, Health, and Athletics, we want to present you with this framed jersey. Thank you very much for all you do for us on a daily basis. I won't go over all the accomplishments because clearly Tom said them all about 5 minutes ago. Yeah, but thank you, Tom. The next individual we would like to recognize, we have a video tribute for him. He truly is the face of this PCC Hall of Fame, Mr. Robert Lewis. Come on up.
Robert Lewis, congratulations, and thank you for your service to Pasadena City College. I don't like using the F word, but thank you for being fair to the athletes, the teams, and the coaches. I don't recall you showing any partiality to any particular team when you wrote your articles. Although you like baseball, you gave honor to whom honor was due. So thank you, man, and I appreciate that, and we all do. And you are actually the best SID in the state of California. Congratulations.
Robert, congratulations on an incredible career. Thank you for all of your support and your loyalty throughout my time here. Women's soccer definitely benefited from all that you've done for us. I truly appreciate all the help that you have given me and this program and the athletics and PCC.
Robert, on behalf of myself, Team Captain Jason Ridley, and the entire football program, we want to say thank you for the remarkable job you've done here at Pasadena City College. You've won the invisible moments, and you are truly going to be missed.
Thank you for everything you've done for me and all the other student athletes here on campus. Congratulations on retirement. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, Robert. Congratulations.
Heading into retirement, I know you're going to be so bored. So if you ever need to call me and argue whether something's a hit or an error, whether we should have sent the runner, or what the heck I was thinking about my lineup back in 2017, I'm your girl.
Hey Robert, congratulations on your retirement. Well deserved. Thank you for everything you have done over the years for our athletic department, all our student athletes and coaches. You truly are one of the best sports information directors in the business. So congratulations to you. Please go watch some softball, drink some wine, and just have a good time. And I also want to say thank you for all our conversations. I've really learned a lot from you. You've helped me grow as a manager, and we're really gonna miss you. So congratulations.
Hey Robert, congratulations on a wonderful career. We all respect and admire you so much. So glad you're healthy, and so excited for you to continue on in this next chapter. You will be missed. All the phone calls, all the volleyball chats, and just all the information and resources and history and value you've added to our division over the years. Thank you so much for your contributions, and enjoy retirement.
Congratulations on your retirement. Thank you for always lifting Pasadena up in so many ways, through the pen, through your voice, and through your tireless advocacy of PCC athletics. Your dedication to our teams and knowledge of historic facts and events is unmatched.
You'll be a very tough act to follow.
We wish you the best.
Hey Robert, it's Tom Marr, your old buddy in kinesiology. Met you 30 years ago when you had a little office over in the W building. You were a part-timer then. And then you became our full-time sports information director, and all of us coaches benefited from you. You created media guides for me. All these beautiful media guides that were national award-winning magazines that helped me in recruiting immensely. You created a situation because of your respect from the media that KCal Sports came out and did a feature on our team. Fox Sports Net came out and did a story on Jonathan Smith. I mean, incredible stuff. The LA Times covered our games. That's impossible, but it's all because of you. So I just wanted to say thank you for all the years of friendship and all the hard work and dedication you've shown this division of kinesiology and athletics. Thank you.
Robert, for a quarter of a century, you opened our events here at this amazing aquatic center in swimming, diving, and water polo for PCC, the South Coast Conference, and the 3C2A. You called to the top of the podium numerous champions that carried the logo of Pasadena City College. For that, we're always grateful. You were the Vin Scully for us in aquatics, and we're hoping that as you enjoy your retirement, that you'll consider coming back and announcing some more events for us here. My friend, enjoy your retirement and go Lancers.
To help us recognize Robert, we want to introduce a very dear friend of his to say a few words, Mr. Gilbert Rivera.
If I can have your attention for just a few more minutes, I know I'll make this short and sweet since I'm winging it, and you want to get out of here, but I just want to announce that something I've been wanting to say for many, many years. On behalf of the college and Pasadena City College and everybody here, Robert Lewis, welcome to the PCC Sports Hall of Fame. Yeah, real quick, I want to read what's written on this plaque here. This is well-deserved. He's been here for more than 30 years. He's put our athletics program on the map. He's made sure that all of our athletes get the right press and the best put forward. But I want to read what's on this plaque here. Behind every touchdown thrown, every track record broken, and every volleyball spiked, Lewis was there to document it and tell it like it is, as he would often say, either through a microphone as public address announcer or on the computer of the school's athletics webmaster editor. For more than 3 decades, he gave our Lancers a voice and stage he deserved, and his tireless work and contributions to PCC would not go unnoticed. In 2008, Lewis, a journalist by trade, received the prestigious Brass Top Award for Career Achievement by the California Community College Sports Information Association. He was also honored as one of the 3 finalists nominated for the 2018 PCC Risser Award for Outstanding Support to Education. And in 2023, his stellar writing was recognized as a finalist for the Best Online Sports Story by the Los Angeles Press Club. As its first and perhaps only non-coach athlete inductee, no one is more deserving of this unique place in the PCC Sports Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Lewis.
I don't know what to say. I said so much today, and Tom Marr said even more. I didn't know this was going to happen, and it's really touched me. That video touched me, and everything that all these colleagues and coaches and all the alumni, they've been so great over the years and pushed me to want to promote PCC athletics. People like Harvey Hyde and Skip Robinson, and a lot of people that passed away, Myron Tarkanian, Sandy Iverson, the softball coach. She was the winningest coach before Joe. And these were coaches that had influences on me. I was in an office in the W building, and I shared it with a couple of women coaches, and one was Joanne Zwanziger, who's in our Hall of Fame, and next door was Sandy Iverson and Lori Jepson, our volleyball coach, and I remember how I asked about the state top 25 and where we were ranked, and then my head coach Jepson started laughing, saying, "What rankings?" And that kind of prompted me to get more involved in women's athletics, and I created a ranking, and I still do it today at the state level. and throughout the state of California. And I'm proud of that, but I'm really proud of being able to promote women's athletics because I don't think it gets what it deserves. Joe Perone coaching, Tammy Silva, the volleyball coach here. I mean, these are great people and great teams. And Kinyatta Johnson and Marissa Reangal from today's class. We just want to do more of that. And lastly, I want to thank you all. I want to thank my wife, Vicki, and my daughters, Lily and Olivia. And I have 3 grandchildren as well. But these 36 years have been just a joyride for the most part. Dr. Brown knows I had some ups and downs, but this has been a great finish for me, and this event makes me want to do more. And I hope you, as alumni and student athletes, former student athletes, you should push the administration to want to continue this Hall of Fame. And it's something that's dear to me, and I would love to help as a consultant in the future, but that's up to you to push them because it's time for me to move on, at least from this chapter, to a new one. Thank you all.